because that barrier, that fear has a name. It's the affective filter. As you can see there, the affective filter is like a wall, like an invisible wall between the student and the teacher, between the student and what he or she is supposed to learn. Many of you must know the affective filter. It's a term popularized by Stephen Krashen. And as I said before, it's that invisible wall that is built from anxiety, low self-confidence, and that paralyzing fear of making mistakes. But more importantly, what does it look like? It's the student who never raises his hand to participate. It's the I don't know, it's the I can't, when we know that they do know and they can. It's the student who is fluent in the chat but silent in the breakout room. This filter blocks the input we are trying so hard to give. So if that barrier is the problem, what's the goal? It's not just participation, it's something bigger. And that something is intrinsic motivation. This is the why behind learning. It's that beautiful shift from I have to I want to. It's the desire to learn English, to connect, to grow, and to understand. Just for the joy, without expecting external rewards. Our equation for today is simple. When we can lower that affective filter and at the same time boost intrinsic motivation, we get what we all want: confident, empowered learners who are ready to take risks. So how do we do this? What is our path for the next minutes? Well, our outcome. We are going to learn how to use artificial intelligence to find the right words, empathetic, personalized words, language that specifically builds a growth mindset instead of a fixed one. Second, our tool. We'll use artificial intelligence. I want you to think of it not as a robot, but as a creative partner, a co-teacher, an empathy engine that can help us generate many, 20, 50 different ways to say the same, to say good job, in a way that truly means something to each student. So what is a mindset? The title of the workshop is Reprogramming Our Mindset. Let's start by defining what that actually means. A mindset is simply a belief. It's the story a student tells themselves, or students tell themselves, about their own abilities. This idea was developed by Carol Dweck. She found that this simple belief, what you believe about yourself, is the most important factor in how you respond to challenges. It's what determines if a student sees a difficult grammar point, grammar exercise, or another kind of exercise as a threat or as an opportunity. As she says, the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. And I would add the way you learn in your classroom, the way our students learn in our classrooms. So what's a fixed mindset and what's a growth mindset? On the left here, you can see that this is the student who believes, I am bad at English. They see intelligence as something static, like a rock. You either have it or you don't. Since we're talking about a language, this could refer to that specific kind of intelligence, linguistic intelligence. This student will avoid the speaking because the risk of failure is too high. They see effort as a waste of time. When you give them feedback, they hear you, you are not smart. On the other hand, on the other side, on the right side, the growth mindset is the student who believes I am learning English. They see intelligence as a muscle, something that they can grow with effort. This student embraces a challenge. They see mistakes not as failure, but as information. They learn from feedback. So our goal for today as teachers is to help our students move from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. I cannot move it. I suppose I can do it here. Here, from here to here. So where do we as language teachers fit into this? What's our role? Our role is crucial. We are mindset shapers. Think about the power of our words. When a student says, I go to the market yesterday, what's the difference between that's wrong, that's just wrong, and I see you're thinking about the past tense. I think you're right about that. Maybe we need to change the verb. The difference is enormous. The first response confirms a fixed mindset. The second one builds a growth mindset. Our words for feedback and praise directly shape our students' mindsets. But here's the real challenge, and we all know it, the challenge of scale. In order for you to understand this expression, let me give you an example. In education, for example, a problem of scale could be that a teaching method effective for one classroom might not scale to an entire school district without significant redesign. How can we provide that perfect, personalized growth oriented feedback for 25 different students in the middle of a busy class when we are already trying to manage time and the textbook? Well, that's just hard. And this is precisely where AI helps. It's not a replacement for us. It's our tool to solve this problem. It's our co-teacher for empathy, helping us find the right words, right when we need them. First, and this is the most important point I will make today, AI is not a replacement. Our students need our human connection, our warmth, our intuition. That is not replaceable. Instead, I want you to think of AI, artificial intelligence, as an assistant, a co-teacher, or, as I said before, and as I like to call it, the empathy engine. Why? Because its strengths are perfect for this task. It can give us instant personalization. We can brainstorm 10 ways to praise a shy student in 30 seconds, but AI can. It has endless creativity. For when we are tired and just keep saying good job over and over. And importantly, it's non-judgmental. It's a safe space for us to practice finding better words before we ever use them with a student. Remember, a word can kill or a word can give life. So what is our specific goal with this tool? We want to make a shift in our role from corrector to connector, from someone who scans mistakes to being someone who connects. In the old way, teachers would focus on errors, saying, you learn from your errors. That's why I point out your errors, but you're still wrong. In the new way, AI helps us find that language that does three things. First, it connects with the student's feelings. It says, I see you struggling, and that's okay. I know this is tough, but it's the way it should be. It validates. It validates the effort. It praises the risk the students take, even if the grammar is not perfect. And this language helps reprogram their inner narrative. We are helping them replace I can't do this with I'm just learning how to do this. Our ultimate goal is to use this empathy engine to turn every mistake in class into a positive learning moment. Before we ask AI to generate something for us, we need to know what we are asking for. Not all praise created is equal. What makes a good motivational phrase is something more. So what makes a good motivational phrase? Take a look at the difference between vague praise and effective praise. Vague praise, things like good job or you're so smart. It feels nice, but it's like junk food. It's like a hamburger. I mean, we feel satisfied with it, but it doesn't nourish the growth mindset. In fact, telling a student that he or she is smart can backfire because they eventually will believe that. And when they fail, they will think, oh no, I guess I was not smart. I guess I'm not smart anymore. Fortunately, we have effective praise. Listen to the difference. I saw you use that new vocabulary word. That was brave. This is powerful because it praises the action, not the person. It praises the effort, not the talent. It tells the student exactly what behavior they should repeat. This is the kind of language we want AI to generate for us. Now we get to the how. How do we get AI to give us that specific, growth-oriented praise? The secret is realizing that the magic isn't just the artificial intelligence, it's in the prompt. That's why today I would like you to take this class, Prompting 101. If you ask a vague question, you get a vague answer. We need to be the human in the loop. So for this, let's just use a simple three-part formula. First, the role. Tell the AI who to be. For example, act as an empathetic EFL teacher. Next, the context. This is the most critical part. Describe your student. Is it Juan? Is it Pedro? Is it Pedro who loves soccer? Is it Evelyn who's very shy? The more specific you are, the better the result. For example, who is the student? I need you to create phrases for a B1 student who is shy and afraid. Finally, the goal and tone. If you want specific results, you need to be specific with your prompt. For example, write 3 phrases to praise effort. You also need to set the tone. For example, keep it warm, keep it gentle, keep it concise. When you combine these three things, when you combine all these things, you don't just get text, you get connection. Now, I need you to imagine for just a moment a B1 student. Let's call her Sophia. She's very shy. She understands English, but she's terrified of participating. She doesn't want to sound stupid in front of her peers, and she's afraid of being wrong. So this is the prompt that we can use in order to get phrases from artificial intelligence in order to praise her effort. Act as an encouraging EFL teacher. Write 3 short phrases for a B1 student who is very shy and afraid to speak. The phrases should praise the effort of trying, not the accuracy. The tone should be warm and gentle. Do we have the formula here? Do you remember the formula? Let's go back a moment. We need the role. We need to ask the artificial intelligence to act as somebody. We need the context. We need to provide information to the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence understands better the situation. And we need to set the goal and tone. We need to be specific with what we want. And the tone should tell us if we want a warm outcome, gentle outcome, concise outcome. As you can see here, we have the role, that's the EFL teacher. The context, yes, a B1 student who is very shy and afraid to speak. What I want phrases, 3 phrases that praise the effort of trying and not the accuracy, and the tone should be warm and gentle. So we have all the information that we need in order to generate these phrases. Now, this is too short. This is just as an example, but I tried to apply this in real life. So this is a prompt that I created. I used Gemini. You can make use of Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT. There's another Chinese one. I don't remember now. It's something with deep. But the 4 of them work well. Let me read this for you. Hello, my friend. It's me again, and I need your help. I'm an EFL teacher at CBA La Paz. I'm teaching a B1 class, and I need you to help me generate motivational phrases for my students to develop their intrinsic motivation. One by one, I will describe each of them, and I will describe the situations for you to help me. Is it okay? Now, in my experience, artificial intelligence works better when you make use of correct grammar, when you don't make spelling mistakes, and when you treat artificial intelligence as a person, when you are courteous, when you are gentle. So what's the outcome? What do I get with this prompt? It's hard to read this because I get a lot of information from AI. I was not specific about the outcome. It would have been better to ask for a concise outcome. But I got very important information. For example, artificial intelligence says that he or she or it will use this information to keep in mind the cultural context where appropriate. It tells us how it will proceed. It will analyze the information, target, identify the psychological need, and generate the phrases according to the level, so the student can understand what we tell him or her. So now I'm going to be very specific about my request. I'm going to talk about Sophia. Sophia is a very shy student. She's afraid to speak. She does not participate in class often, but she writes beautifully. When she speaks to me alone, she shows she has nice pronunciation, though she needs to work a little on accuracy. Today, I want her to role play a model conversation with me for the class. Could you please generate 3 motivational phrases for her? The tone should be warm and gentle. So notice that the role is implied now. It was in the previous prompt. I am an EFL teacher, and I want Gemini, in this case, to act as an EFL teacher. I provide the context, and I tell artificial intelligence what I need. 3 motivational phrases. And the tone should be warm and gentle. As you can imagine, I get a lot of information, and this is too much. Again, I made the same mistake. I didn't ask artificial intelligence to be concise with the outcome, with the answer. But I can point out some parts that are important here. For example, 1, the safe bubble. The safe bubble approach. What can I say to Sophia? Sophia, for this activity, just look at me. Forget the rest of the class is here. It's just a conversation between you and me, exactly like we do when we talk alone. I'm right here with you. Do you think that if I tell Sophia this, it would work? According to artificial intelligence, this could work because this reduces the pressure of the audience and reminds her of the success she has had speaking with you privately. Another approach, bridging writing to speaking. So you can notice here why it's so important to let artificial intelligence know of all the strengths this student has. Let me read this for you. I know you have beautiful ideas because I read them in your writing. Now, I want you to trust your voice the same way you trust your pen. Don't worry about being perfect. Just focus on helping me tell this story. Or in this case, helping me role play this conversation. Do you think that this works? According to AI, it validates her existing strength, writing, and reframes the speaking task as telling a story rather than being tested on grammar. Finally, valuing contribution over accuracy. I can tell Sophia, I chose you for this model because you have lovely pronunciation. If you make a small mistake with grammar, it doesn't matter. I will help you. What matters is that we try this together. Are you ready to be my partner? According to AI, this works because it explicitly addresses her fear of accuracy errors by telling her they don't matter right now, and frames the activity as a partnership rather than a performance. So what do you think? Do you think this could really work? I mean, we're dealing with people here. We cannot make mistakes because we can lose our students. So let's try this out. It's your turn. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Scenario A, the frustrated student. I'll never understand this. I'm not good at English. Scenario B, the brave speaker. Gave a speech with many errors, but tried very hard. And scenario C, the welcome message. A board message to lower anxiety instantly. We are going to practice being mindset shapers. I want you to pick one of these 3 scenarios. I need you to use the formula we just learned: role, context, goal, tone. I need you to talk to the AI to the artificial intelligence and tell it exactly who the student is and see what phrases it gives you. I'll give you 10 minutes to play with this. You can make use of your cell phones. I need you to try different prompts. If you don't like the first answer, tell the AI, try again, but make it shorter or make it funnier. Let's see what we can create. If you don't have access to the internet in this moment, or you cannot use artificial intelligence, think of the phrases that you can use with these students. They shouldn't be vague phrases. They shouldn't focus on a fixed mindset. They should rather focus on a growth mindset. What would you tell your students? So let's take a few minutes. Think, please. Do you use AI teacher? Nice. Oh, fantastic. Copilot. It's good. It's fine.
I was thinking the first one, which is
The frustrated student. A person who says, I'll never understand this. I can't. How can you change his mindset? What about you? Do you ever use artificial intelligence?
Not really.
Not really.
Try not
But
to.
you're going to try.
That's okay.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Well, in my case, I'm thinking.
That's fantastic. What would you say to these students?
Yeah, there are some options. Please think about it.
Do you work as an EFL teacher?
As a what?
As a teacher, as an English
Oh,
teacher?
yes.
Where do you work?
Well, not here.
Not here.
Right.
How old are your students?
Teenagers.
Ooh,
Teenagers.
that's very difficult. You have to choose your words wisely.
Yeah.
If you're listening to me, I would like all the people connected to the stream on Facebook to participate as well. The role, the context, the goal, and the tone. All right, so I posted a couple of messages on the live chat. I hope we get some people to participate here too. Let's take 3-4 minutes. Rainer Rainer asks, what would be the role? It would be, oh, I cannot read this. Oh, there you go. It would be what you want the AI to act as a teacher, act as a parent, act as a friend. Excuse me, what's your name? Claudia. Nice to meet you, Claudia. And what's your name? Maribel. Thank you for coming. All right. As we said before, uh, artificial intelligence doesn't replace the teacher. It's just an assistant. It means that we don't really need artificial intelligence to do this, but it can help us in certain cases. As I said before, when you have a lot of students, you don't have too much time, or you want to devote your time to the things that you like to do, like spending time with your family or doing the things that you like. Artificial intelligence helps us in that way. It saves us time. So, Claudia, I would like you to participate. What would you say to a student who feels usually frustrated, who thinks he or she will never understand English, who thinks he or she can't learn English?
In my case, the first thing you need to analyze frustration. People feel frustration when she or he um, thinks that uh, as a personally doesn't deserve the level or situation that they understand for him, his or her understanding. In this case, it's not what I'm saying, but I'm acting here as a teacher's right. And support, emotional support. Okay, we are in this class for making mistakes, errors. It's the unique way to learn, right? So, yes, and classmates are really important. So not just teacher. This is the context.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for your participation. I think that's really good because this student wouldn't feel um, discouraged, wouldn't feel afraid to participate.
Yeah.
You just foster participation. All right, thank you very much, Claudia. And what about you? Did you get any results with artificial intelligence about the frustrated student?
Yeah,
Teacher Evelyn.
yeah. I think one good thing would be to highlight maybe the effort they're making over the outcome, right? And maybe give them even examples of people, I mean, important people, famous people, I don't know, that they didn't, at the beginning, they didn't get everything they wanted, but the end, that outcome was the important thing. Maybe that would be, right?
Thank you.
To
Thank you very
highlight
much.
the effort.
To highlight the
That's,
effort.
yeah, that's important.
Uh, did you get any phrases to highlight the effort? Specific phrases, something that you can tell
I
the
did.
student.
Um, if I did. Um, okay, every time, what matters most is that you're trying. Every time you try, you're building your brain and getting closer to what you want to succeed, right?
Nice.
I don't know, that's what I got. And then you could show, you give examples of Serena Williams or different people who tried, and because of the persistence, they got or they became what they are now.
All right.
So maybe that could help.
Could you please repeat only the first part?
What I said, every time you try, you're building your brain and getting closer.
Nice. How would you feel if you were a student and your teacher told you that?
Nothing. I would just keep on trying.
Nice.
Right? I don't think I'd stop.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, that's something that really helps students when we just look for very clear, nice, and suitable expressions of it. So with those ones, we can just help a lot students, especially those ones that are frustrated. For example, I have a situation in this case.
Okay, please.
The student says, "I am so frustrated with my English. I just don't get it. I've been trying to study, learn English for hours, but I still can't understand what my teacher is saying. I feel like I am the only one who's struggling, and it's so embarrassing. I try to practice, but I just end up making mistakes and feeling stupid. I don't know why I even bother. I'll never be good at English, no matter how hard I try. My teacher says I am not focusing, but I am trying my best. It's just not working. I am so sick of feeling like a failure."
Oh my goodness. Let's picture this situation and let's try to understand this student. Let's try to be a little empathetic. What would you say to him or to her?
Nobody is perfect. People who are genius. It's not because they are intelligent, it's because they tried 7 times.
Nice.
You can do that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. What do you think about that? What would you say if somebody told you that?
In that case, I think that I will suggest different, in this case, examples, yeah, related with that, as the teacher says, that famous people, most of the time I think that they are a good example for them, yeah. It doesn't matter if they are singers or actors, always, most of the time they have, or they had in this case, maybe similar situation where they have to be most of the time to be courage to grow. And I think that in that situation, as different teachers, we have to suggest the different alternatives to solve the problems, yeah, in order to be the example and say that they are really important for us and maybe for the rest of the classmates as well, maybe for their family. And I think we have to persuade them to continue trusting first on them that they can do it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And you said something very important, and it's something that teacher Evelyn mentioned. Um, Successful people also make mistakes. Successful people, as teacher Pedro said, they are successful because they tried and tried. It's not because they are perfect. Thank you very much for your participation. I really appreciate it. Well, some questions that I had for you about the results that you got. Was there a surprise factor? Was there a phrase that surprised you? Something that felt most human? As you know, artificial intelligence is just a computer program, but it can generate some phrases, some things that can really help us connect with other human beings. The power of context. How did the output change when you added specific details about the student? The feeling check. If you were the student, would your affective filter go down when you hear those expressions? Those expressions of encouragement, as you said? Well, beyond phrases, other uses. We've practiced crafting specific spoken phrases, but how do we make this a habit? Here are 3 other ways to weave this empathy engine into your daily teaching routine. First, the mindset warm up. Instead of starting immediately with open your books, ask students, ask students to talk about what they did during the day. Meanwhile, you can ask artificial intelligence for a quote about mistakes. Start the class by validating that learning is hard. It takes 10 seconds, but shifts the energy of the room. Next, the empathy check. This is my favorite. We all get tired. Sometimes we just want to write, "This is messy" on an essay. Before you send that, paste it into any artificial intelligence and say, "Make this kinder, make this helpful." Let the AI do the emotional labor when you are exhausted. You cannot just write, "This is messy" or "This is wrong" or rewrite it. Rewrite harsh feedback. "This is messy" is not constructive. I need constructive feedback, kind feedback. Then we have the visual environment. Your walls speak to your students. You can use AI to generate slogans for posters that celebrate risk taking using the exact vocabulary level your students understand. And you can post those slogans on the walls of your classroom. So every time they get into the classroom, they feel appreciated, they feel confident. Key, take, key takeaways. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with these four main thoughts. First, remember that the barrier is real. The affective filter is not an excuse, it's a biological wall against learning. But the good news is that it's movable. We can lower it. Second, mindsets are built. No student is born thinking, I'm bad at English, at languages, at anything. That is a learned belief. And if it can be learned, it can be unlearned. It can be reprogrammed through the feedback we give them. We teachers have that power. Third, remember our tool, artificial intelligence. It's an, it's an engine, it's an empathy engine. You can use Gemini, ChatGPT, or any other artificial intelligence for empathy and personalization, not just logic. Use it to find the humanity in your teaching, especially on the days when you feel drained. And finally, connection over correction. When we prioritize connection, we create the safety our students need. When they feel safe, they speak. And when they speak, they learn. Thank you very much for coming to this presentation. I hope you liked it. Thank you. Thank you very much.